So today we'll be discussing the ball scene in Romeo and Juliet, which is the scene where Romeo and Juliet
first
meet.
lay eyes, so it's a really massively important scene. That was fun with the costume.
The costume, yeah. It was the only scene which was added colour to show like the vibe and energy of...
And also to show like underneath the feud there is not something nice.
Yeah. It just lift the mood and make it look all happy. And
so what we did blocking wise were we sorted ourselves into groups. So like if you're a Montague, you'd need to go into a big Montague group, but then if you're like a neutral
or a Capulet,
go into a different group. Like if you're a Capulet, you'd stand there like to be greeted by
you stand at the from people are entering and you'd be greeted by the Capulets.
And we worked together.
We worked together with Thingy, Zaz and Amber.
Yeah, and we were with the Prince. So we were
like more
dignified.
When we entered, we came in like
an
orderly way instead of like
other
people who came in like way or wacky. We were like.
I think we sort of kept the like almost the old feel of Shakespeare, like the traditional ball. Everyone else was doing like all these crazy dance moves.
We did the waltz.
Yeah, because we had the partner.
Yeah, everybody had to come in and choreograph their own like movements and stuff. And the scene was important because it was the first scene where
they meet, and it's important to show, and important to show that they're gonna fall in love. And for me, it was quite important because that's a build-up for my monologue. Do you remember afterwards?
The monologue was after there.
Yeah. Which was nerve-wracking.
So, yeah, I think it was good having other groups in like little clusters. And seeing Romeo and Juliet having to try and push around the groups to finally meet.
It was really clever. Like while we were waltzing, we'd move as a group while waltzing in our couples.
Whilst Romeo and Juliet were trying to like.
And then when
Lord
Capulet did a certain part of the speech, his servants would come around and we'd do like a point and toe.
And freeze frame, which focused on Lord Capulet and Cousin Capulet's acting.
And then when he said, "'Tis more," we'd do a 10 and we'd pretend to be having conversations.
Yeah,
or spilling
out
drinks
of freeze
each other.
frame was good because it was in canon, and I think the canon worked well.
It looked really nice and effective because then it showed like the joy almost when Lord Montagues were all standing there with a big smile on our face saying we're physically enjoying this party and it's something important. And then when we switch back, it's just like we're still having a good time.
Yeah, and the other good freeze frame was when Romeo and Juliet first met, because it like focused on the important moment of the play.
Yeah.
Their first meeting.
And we were all like pulling these really over the top expressions as we froze, as they briefly met before Tybalt took Juliet away, and I really liked that idea.
That was effective, yeah.
The way they just touch hands, they just about like look at each other, and Tybalt grabs Juliet and just drags her off.
And I think it was good how they got them to meet on the final note of Ziggy Stardust and the song we used.
And have Juliet sing the
final line,
yeah, which was really nice.
I think we used that song because on the day we blocked the scene was the day David Bowie passed away, so...
And it just felt really
it felt right to use his music in the performance, to lift the performance.
I don't think I could do it without Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah. It just fitted. The problem was, when we swapped it, we originally used the original Ziggy Stardust music, but then when we swapped to the classical one...
It was like orchestral, and it was really hard to get the timing for ages.
We spent a few goes trying to get the timing right for them to meet, and like when Lord Capulet to start his speech, when the music would start, so Romeo and Juliet could meet.
But over the time we eventually got there, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked
perfectly.
On the end, yeah. Then also on the night, on the actual performance, we were given balloons to use for the performance.
Because we'd been playing with the balloons for ages, and it was
we had to mime them to begin with. I think the balloons lifted the vibe of the scene.
But it was a bit shocking because when they all started popping on stage, we were like...
It was awkward to get them off, and like they kept popping. So it
was 50-50.
50-50, yeah. It did improve the like vibe and make the scene look more happy, and gave us something more to like work with.
Yeah, because then like we could actually kick something about. But then when they started popping and trying to get them all off, and quietly backstage, it was like really difficult because everyone was trying their best to put them away gently, and then they'd be banging, and then
it disturbed the acting, yeah.
And it felt, but we did okay.
It did not too many popped, so it was alright.
Yeah.
One improvement we were given like towards the start was when we were exiting off. Everybody seemed to like exit all at once, but we were told to to exit one by one.
Or like in a pair and such.
Yeah. So it looked like the party was gently fading down.
Yeah, and then dispersing.
Yeah. And the thing was, the nurse stayed on with Juliet and was like pointing out people who were at the party.
And you did that bit,
because
didn't you?
everybody had left, me and Amber had to come back on stage to be the people she was pointing out.
Yeah.
And it was good that we had the costumes to use to like interact and use the costumes to
And
like
to be a bit like act like you've had a bit too much
bit too
drink.
much. Yeah, I think the costumes really helped with.
Yeah, it helped me as well because straight after the minute Romeo and Juliet, the nurse and Juliet go off, I've got to dash on and do a monologue about how they've fallen in
Did
love.
you do it in costume?
Yeah, I did it.
Because it would
in-
have had enough time for
was
the costume things.
because it was really hard for me to like
Oh,
figure out.
The other thing with the costumes, they had to be iconic costumes so everybody could recognise them. So we had the
Yeah.
Mystery Inc. gang.
We had
I was
Scooby-Doo.
Aladdin.
I was someone from Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
which I got away with just.
And you had the
the.
dinosaur.
Yeah, so I was like-
And there was Minnie Mouse and
We had.
Wayne's World and stuff.
Yeah, that was a funny one. And then we had the Prince as.
Someone from the Addams family.
Yeah, more Trisha.
Patricia Adams, and yeah,
I
the costumes really lifted the mood of that.
I think the nurse was Audrey Hepburn. And we had.
Oh, and we had Juliet obviously as David Bowie.
Yeah, which was a really. I like that little touch.
Because he did the song at the end, yeah.
And then we had, I think, the guy from Night Fever.
Yeah, as Romeo.
Yeah, that was funny.
And we had Willy Wonka and Fred Flintstone
And his wife. It was nice because we'd been wearing really plain costumes for like ages and ages and ages, and it felt kind of dry.
And the thing is, in all the other scenes, like the Montagues who were black, the thingies who were
White, the
so it
Capulets.
actually the Capulets, yeah. So it showed colour, and it showed that it didn't matter what house you were in the
For
party
tonight.
scene. It was all together and all as one, which was
Yeah.
a good like.
And it helped really me bribe up how, because I've got to go on quite cheesily. I've got to go on really, really cheesily and with a big grin on my face. And, without the costume, I don't. Without everyone in costumes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, how to get you in the mood for the.
Yeah, because I've got to, behind the scenes, bounce myself up. And then the minute they go off, I've got to run on, do my monologue, and then run off. And it also set up, I feel like it set up the balcony scene really well.
Yeah.
Because, they'd met previously and then it got set up. So yeah.
So yeah, I
that
think
was
the ball scene was an effective scene.
I really
And
like
it was an important scene in the play, obviously, because it was
the first
the first
meeting.
meeting. And I think
And it also,
the freeze themes helped.
I forgot, it also defined a bit of Romeo's character, that he's a different kind of Montague compared to the others.
Yeah.
Because like, he's like, because Tybalt's like, Romeo here, it's dishonourable, and Capulet's like, no, he's different, leave him alone, you're going to cause mutiny among the guests, and they have a huge
and obviously
fight.
the opening scene, so if they have a fight again, their lives would pay the price. So
Yeah, so it
Lord
was fun.
Capulet didn't want it, and it just.
Yeah, so that was the ball scene.
Yeah.
Yep.